For Lewis Kopp, the journey may have ended just short of the Strictly Come Dancing final, but in the hierarchy of his heart, and in the memories of millions watching at home, one thing remains firmly unchanged. As the festive season began and the glitter of the ballroom slowly settled, the former actor made it abundantly clear who still sat at the very top of his Strictly list. Reuniting with family away from the studio lights, Lewis Kopp affectionately reaffirmed his bond with professional partner Katya Jones, declaring her his undisputed number one, a sentiment that resonated far beyond a lighthearted social media post. A journey that ended too soon, but meant everything. Lewis' Strictly Come Dancing adventure came to an end just before the much-anticipated musicals week, when he and Katya were eliminated following a tense dance-off against Amber Davies and Nikita Kuzmin. For many viewers, the result felt less like a fairy tale ending and more like an abrupt interruption. Week after week, Lewis had delivered polished, emotionally grounded performances, regularly placing high on the leaderboard and earning praise for his work ethic and growth. To a significant portion of the audience, he looked every inch a potential glitterball champion, a contender whose consistency and sincerity made him one of the season's most compelling figures. And yet, when the moment arrived, Lewis met his exit not with bitterness, but with gratitude. "I would have snapped your hand off." Speaking to presenter Tess Daly in the immediate aftermath of his elimination, Lewis reflected candidly on what the experience had meant to him. He admitted that if anyone had told him at the beginning of the competition that he would last 11 weeks, he would have accepted without hesitation. "I would have snapped your hand off," he said, describing the journey as something that had exceeded every expectation he'd carried into the show, and perhaps even those he hadn't dared to imagine. It became a space of transformation, a place where vulnerability was rewarded, where effort mattered, and where people were encouraged to grow openly in front of a national audience. For Lewis, Strictly was never just about sequins and scores. A show that lets people be themselves. In one of his most heartfelt reflections, Lewis praised Strictly Come Dancing for creating an environment where participants are allowed, even encouraged, to be authentically themselves. He described it as a rare platform where individuals could learn, evolve, and express who they truly are, both on and off the dance floor. In an industry often driven by perfection and polish, Lewis spoke of something deeper: acceptance, humility, and shared humanity. And at the center of that experience, he insisted, stood Katya Jones. "I couldn't imagine doing it with anyone else." Lewis reserved his warmest words for his professional partner, crediting Katya with not only guiding him through choreography, but helping him unlock a new sense of confidence. He described her as everything he could have hoped for: a teacher, a friend, and a source of unwavering support. "The bond they formed," he said, "was irreplaceable. I couldn't imagine doing it with anyone else," Lewis admitted, a statement that felt less like polite television courtesy and more like a genuine declaration. Katya's emotional tribute. Katya Jones, known for her exacting standards and expressive artistry, responded with a deeply emotional tribute of her own. Addressing Lewis directly, she told him he had created moments that would live on in Strictly history, not merely because of the routines they danced, but because of the spirit he brought to them. She suggested that Lewis would be remembered not only for standout performances, but for the kind of person he had been throughout the competition. In a striking endorsement, Katya went so far as to call him one of the best male celebrities the show has ever had, praise rarely offered lightly within the Strictly universe. A painful exit for viewers. Lewis' departure proved particularly difficult for fans who had become invested in his journey. Social media lit up with disappointment, disbelief, and heartfelt messages of support, many convinced he had been on course for the Glitterball trophy. Despite the heartbreak, Lewis returned for the grand final group dance alongside fellow eliminated contestants, a joyful reunion that celebrated the season as a whole. The only notable absence was Thomas Skinner, partnered with Amy Dowden, who had been the first celebrity to exit the series. Festive calm after the storm away from the ballroom, Lewis eased gently into the festive period surrounded by family. In a relaxed Instagram video, he shared a moment from a gathering in which he showed off a playful dance move, proof that Strictly's influence lingered long after the music stopped. His brother Luke could be heard joking in the background, "Who needs it?" a teasing remark that Lewis quickly turned into a pointed callback to his Strictly journey. In the caption, he wrote simply, "Kat, you're still number one." It was a small line, but one loaded with affection, gratitude, and shared history. Katya's love letter to a partnership. Katya, too, took to Instagram following their elimination, posting what read less like a farewell and more like a love letter to their partnership. She called Lewis magnificent, describing him as one of those rare people who seem cut from a different cloth. She praised his inner light, saying it shone so brightly that it couldn't help but move everyone around him. His talent, she wrote, was extraordinary, matched only by his discipline, work ethic, and moral compass. For Katya, it was this rare combination of skill, integrity, and humility that made Lewis truly exceptional. She described him as one of a kind, predicting that he was destined for something remarkable long after Strictly faded into memory. More than entertainment, perhaps the most powerful part of Katya's message was her reflection on what Lewis represented beyond the dance floor. While he may have thought he was simply learning routines to entertain, she said, he was doing something far more meaningful. He was representing his family, and countless others, as hardworking, resilient people defined by gratitude and integrity. In doing so, she believed he had given viewers permission to dream without limits, to keep going, and to do so with humility and kindness. The luckiest girl in the world, Katya ended her tribute on a deeply personal note, admitting that she felt like the luckiest girl in the world to have been chosen as Lewis' partner. She confessed just how deeply she loved dancing with him, describing the experience as something that set her little dancing soul on fire, a feeling so priceless. For Lewis Kopp and Katya Jones, Strictly Come Dancing may not have ended with a glitter ball in their hands. She said that it was worth every ounce of pain that came with their exit, but in many ways, their partnership achieved something rarer. A connection that lingered long after the final step, one defined not by trophies, but by trust, respect, and genuine affection.